basketball, where I developed a love for training and fitness. Um, and came back home to Wisconsin and just decided that I wanted better for my life. Moved to California, and upon being in California for a few weeks, I was able to meet my sponsor in the library while I was just kind of searching for an opportunity, right? And while I was in there, I got like a glimpse of vision. I got a glimpse of hope. I finally felt like I had a shot at achieving something amazing in life, just based on the opportunity that was presented in front of me, and then so many other people that I saw who were having levels of success inside of the company. And I started the business, and somebody asked me today, what really excited me, and I was just like, man, this the opportunity that we have on a daily basis to like earn income and go after all of these promotions that David just went over. Like, we have such an amazing opportunity right now. Like, how can I not put my best foot forward? And was able to reach, the global expansion team in my first year of the business, which was amazing. Of course, that's not typical, but it definitely is, possible. That's just my story. Was able to reach global expansion team 2,500 in 16 months. And then, the Millionaire Team. Yep, there go the disclaimers. The Millionaire Team took me about 4 years to reach the Millionaire Team. And this year has been amazing. We were able to reach President's Team earlier on this year, 15K and 20K all in the same like 3 to 4 months, which is mind blowing to me. But the reason why I'm sharing that is because what we did in the fourth quarter of each and every year really set up having that amazing year. And there are people who have been asking me, time and time again, what changed and what have you added to it? What are you doing different? And what I'm here to share with you guys is an amazing concept on why you need to finish the year strong, and also what that does for the first quarter of the year, which is when we experience that natural momentum. And so the question that, I get, and I kind of was asking around to different people, and I got a little bit of information on, put a 1 in the chat if you already have a plan. If you got a plan to end the year strong and you're going into 2021 and you already know what you're going to do, put a 1 in the chat. But I also want you to be honest. If you're like, I'm just working, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't really have a set plan. I'm just really just going through the motions right now, and just hoping that things are better for next year. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Most people, even though there's a lot of ones, if I was to ask people what their plan was, they'd be like, well, I'm just going to keep drinking the shakes and going to the events. And if people don't, sometimes don't have like a solidified plan on what they're exactly going to do. So what I want to share with you guys is the reason why you want to finish the year strong. And the reason why is I do weird things. My brain just kind of thinks about other things to kind of like research. And one of the things I was looking at was like, man, I know there's a law about motion and momentum, and what happens when you have momentum and what happens when you don't have momentum. And it's Newton's first law of motion. Motion is like momentum, right? And it's, something in motion will stay in motion, but also something at rest will stay at rest. And I'm like, that is super applicable to our business, because if you're in momentum, you're going to stay in momentum. Whether it's you having, very, very, high volume or whatever the case may be. But if you're always in movement, when things naturally happen, you're going to already be in flow. But if you're stopping, like a lot of people we know, it may not be you because you're on a call, so you're showing up, but people we come across, they may be like, I'm just waiting for the new year to hit, or I'm just waiting on things to be better in the new year. I'm just kind of trying to get through 2020. There are those people who are just trying to get through the year, and they don't realize that they are now no longer in motion. They're no longer in movement. They're no longer in momentum. And the hardest thing that I've ever seen is somebody try to regain the momentum. One of the notes that I have down here is, if you're in the game already, you don't got to get warmed up. You know how long it takes you to get warmed up? We go through 20 minutes of warming up, or when you're in the gym, you got to warm up before, you start working out. It's like if you're already in the game, you don't have to get warmed up. And so as we're in the fourth quarter, the game may have slowed down for some people. The pace may have slowed down, but this is still winning time right now. This is where champions are made. Champions are made in the fourth quarter. And as long as you're staying in the game, you don't got to get warmed up. You're good to go. So that is, for me, is one of the reasons why I'm like, look, we don't get to take very many breaks. Like, if you want to stay in momentum, just based on physics. Physics says it. Like, that's what the law of the land says. You have to stay in motion in order for you to stay in motion. So I say that because there are a lot of people who are going to wait until January, 1st, or really weird, by the way, the January 1st mentality. I'm going to get better on January 1st. Well, I know January 1st was a Wednesday this year. And the only reason I remember is because I remember we closed out the year on a bang. It was a Tuesday, and next day, it was just Wednesday. It wasn't like it was a new year. It was just Wednesday. Like, it was just another day. And nothing magical happened, and, nothing just clicked. It was like, okay, your Tuesday turned into Wednesday. And what is different now? There's nothing different except for you got to just write 2020 at the end instead of 2019. Like, that was just it. There wasn't a whole lot that changed. And so there's not anything magical that's going to, happen, because the best time to do anything is always right now. So if you have a thought in your mind and you want to do something, the best time to always do it is now, because, time is relative, and if you understand that, it's like time is just really relative. So whatever you want to do, it starts like right now. And the one thing that I really see inside of a lot of people's businesses, they're kind of waiting for that January, and then they struggle to catch on to the wave, and they kind of miss it, because we don't know when the wave is coming. Go ahead and put a 2 in the chat if you knew that 2020 was going to be the biggest wave that Herbalife has ever seen. If you put a 2 in the chat, I need to talk to you after this call, because I need to figure out how you're so psychic and how you know. Because I had no idea that 2020 was going to be like this. I knew it was going to be a good year because I was working for it. I didn't know it was going to be like this. But what I can tell you is the team was already ready. We were already working through the end of the year. And as the wave naturally came, we're already right here. We're ready. So what I'm going to do is I want to give you all some tips and things that I think will help you stay in momentum. And because it's probably not going to be you, but there are going to be a lot of your downline who just are not ready for the year. They're playing catch up. You run out of breath when you're playing catch up. You want to be ready for the wave. You want to be relaxed. You want to know that it's coming. So my first tip, and before I say anything, you guys, I always got to preface this with a disclaimer. And this is my own personal disclaimer, is that everything that I share is always my opinion. I have to say that, because, nothing that I say is fact. It's just my truth. It just makes sense to me. So it's not like the Herbalife law of the land. It's just how I see things through my eyes. And just, if you want to borrow these 20K vision, eyes real quick, you can. Here, take them. You got them. If not, no problem. You can maybe catch a bar or two. No problem. But the first thing is, and in my opinion, we have to stop focusing on the volume. And not that volume doesn't matter, because that's where, we qualify for things. And that's, that we're a volume-based business. But we have to understand that it is a business. And in business, it goes like this. It's just the way that it goes. I've never seen a business in the history of business just do this forever. Even Amazon, the powerhouse that it is, it kind of does, it does this. But the thing is, if you focus on your volume and your numbers every day, and not focus on the work that you're doing every day, your emotions do this. That's one thing we can control. We can control our emotions, not taking a roller coaster. Because the thing is, for me, how I see this thing is like, I'm focused on the work that I'm doing every day. And am I okay with saying, tonight, this day was great. I did my job. The volume may not reflect right now, but if I'm holding onto the fact that eventually the volume is going to catch up, or the accolades are going to catch up, or the pins are going to catch up, or the income is going to catch up eventually, that is my mindset. That gets me through the day. Some people really beat themselves up if they 10,000 volume points. Man, I only did 5,000 volume points this month. Because you're focusing on, that direct output. You're not focusing on the work that goes behind it. And my plea to you is, be more locked into the work than the volume, because the volume will do what it's supposed to do if the work is there. So that's my first tip, is to really, especially during this time, one thing you can't make somebody do is pay you. unless you rob them. But you can't make somebody pay you. You know, it's like you could be the best distributor in the world, and somebody just might not have the money right then. They might be trying to put their money towards other things, and they might not find the value in the products just quite yet. So you can't control, somebody actually paying you. But what you can control is the effort that you're giving to them and the value that you're giving to them in hopes that that's a seed planted that it will eventually sprout. You can control that. So when you're going to any situation, you just get to understand that you can have your emotions tied up into the work, not necessarily the volume. That way you're able to control and be in control of your own emotions, and you can do this thing at a high level for a long time. The next thing is, and this is something that I really want to preach on. I was actually having this conversation today, is to close out the year, why not commit to a new result? Especially during this time of year. People are going to be following you. We all know that the holiday, even no matter how it looks, like we know that the holiday is coming. People have, a lot of excuses. And for you to be going after a new result, whether it's a new energy result, I have been meaning to, and I'm going to start it myself. I'm going to show my immunity tea ritual in the morning, because that's a result, being able to control my immunity system, especially during this time of year where you can easily get sick because of the weather changes and things like that. Being able to showcase that around, maybe the winter time. Get a new, immunity health result. This winter, I didn't get sick. I didn't catch a cold. Whatever the case may be, going after some new result. Hey, maybe this is the time of the year to where I kind of slack off of my results a little bit, right? And I want to, I want to tighten up. I want to lose 5 pounds this December versus gaining that 5 pounds. Whatever it is, what your result can be. And I know that I'm like, look, we got 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks left in the month. Okay, awesome. Whatever goal that I really want to go after, I want to write it down. I want to showcase it and broadcast it to the world that I'm going after a new result, because Herbalife is a result-based business, correct? Like that's kind of what we're driven on. Is our products are amazing. They get, you can get amazing results on the products. So we definitely want to stay in that mindset of being heavy on our Herbalife products. And one thing that I've noticed is, you get a little bit more excited to pitch a product if you're using it. So, maybe you might want to take on, there's a product line that I haven't tried yet. Maybe it's the digestive health line. Maybe you haven't tried the hemp product line yet. Maybe you the fiber hasn't been your thing, but you're going to try the fiber. Maybe, I don't know why, but maybe you haven't tried the Pearlescent yet. Okay, maybe it's time for me to get go on a 2-week Pearlescent challenge. Whatever the case may be, getting products in your system at a high level at this point in time during your business is going to be key. So you stay in that mindset of getting other people results, because if you're getting a result, you're most likely going to be excited to help somebody else get a result, right? So that's the second thing. The third thing is, I think this is important, to start creating a vision on what your 2021 is going to look like. So if you kind of already have a mindset, okay, what is 2021 going to look like for me? A vision board. Okay, let me start creating what I'm going to put on my vision board. We're getting into that time of the year, right? Or we're creating a vision board, what we want things to look like. And I know there's, personal developments out there that will tell you that a belief is a thought that you keep thinking, right? And so if we can see it, you'll start to believe it. And if you believe it, you'll start to act accordingly. So, in my opinion, do you know what 2021 can and will look like for you? Have you decided, have you drawn the line in the sand? Have you already made up your mind that, I'm going to, maybe you're being a world team member. You're like, this is a year that I'm going to be a tab team member. I just know it. I see it, because you got to see it first. You have to see it first, you personally. So it's like, man, okay, this is the year. This is my year. If you're a Millionaire Team member, you're like, okay, this is a year that I do the work to get the president's team. Seeing it first. So the thing that I implore you to do is to maybe get into a space to where you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to set aside a weekend and I'm going to create some sort of vision on what I am going to look to my life to look like in 2021. Visual is, you'll be surprised. And also with that, I have the 90-day plan. Is there anybody who's currently on a 90-day plan right now, finishing out the year on a 90-day plan? Or you maybe you've never taken it on. Or maybe you're like, I thought I was going to get through a call and then not talk about 90-day plans. Because we talk about it a lot, right? You know, we hear 90-day plans, 90-day plans, 90-day plans, 90-day plans. Here's what I would tell you. One of the biggest things inside of my business that changed was 2018, we started a 90-day plan. And when I say we, me and a bunch of my team members got together, because if there are a bunch of people going towards a goal, it looks way different than one person going after a goal by themselves. So we decided to do it as a team. We're like, okay, as a team, what can we do for 90 days consistently? And we started that in 2018. But here's what I found out. What I found out after doing 3 consecutive 90-day plans, not just one, but 3 consecutive 90-day plans, was that in the first set of 90 days, we were learning something new. It was a brand new concept. Maybe we were doing follow-up more. Maybe we were more structured. Maybe we were taking our products differently. Maybe that was the mindset that we're in. The second set of 90 days, we were mastering that 90-day plan. Now we know what we're going to do, and now we're going to 10x the things that we were doing in that first 90-day plan. And then that last 90-day plan came along, right? And now we're teaching it. And I was like, dang, it's phases to a 90-day plan. So instead of just doing a 90-day plan once, it's like, okay, I'm going to do it over again, because I remember January kickoff 2018, I want to say it was, when JJ Mikowski was a guest speaker in Los Angeles. He came and he said, typically you see the results in your second set of 90-day plans. You don't see them in the first. And because I was ready, like a lot of people, I did a 90-day plan. I was ready to quit. I was like, this 90-day plan stuff, it sucks. It doesn't work for me. I tried it. I gave it a shot. It didn't work. And then when he said that, I was like, you know what? I need to commit. That's the word. If you were a part of my team, you know that was one of our words of the year, commit. I had to commit to the 90-day plan until. And going into that second set of 90-day plans is when we start to experience our growth from Mill Team to Mill 7500. And then continuously on for the rest of that year, what we started to see was now my front line has started to teach their front line, and the growth in the organization started to explode, because now we were having so many people who were attached to a 90-day plan. But had I stopped that first time, it would have just been me who benefited, not the team. So maybe sometimes we, instead of committing to one 90-day plan, commit to consecutive. So if you're finishing out a 90-day plan right now, perfect. Guess what? You get to roll into the new year doing a fresh set of that 90-day plan. But now you're going into it knowing what to expect. You're going to be better at it. You're going to be 10xing the things that you're doing, because you know what to do and what not to do. And you're going to be mastering that 90-day plan. So then when March comes, you're now teaching it. We know how things can be in March, right? Imagine March being your third set of 90-day plans, to where you've mastered something and you have a bunch of people doing it. You're all in momentum, and then boom, that natural momentum comes. It gets crazy. I don't know. For me, it just so happened to be press 15 catch. I don't know. It was crazy. It can be crazy for you too. I don't know how it's going to be set up. I don't see the future. I can just tell you to set yourself up so that there's no question that you're going to maximize what can happen. That's what we can do. So that's why these 90-day plans are important, as sometimes they may seem boring. Sometimes they may seem, tedious. Sometimes they may seem repetitive. But I'm telling you, the people that I've seen that move inside of this business, they're like, look, we just do back-to-back 90-day plans. How many guys have ever heard that? Somebody did back-to-back 90-day plans and then they had a major change in the marketing plan. Like, I've seen it. So let that be your story, right? So the next thing that I have written down is that you should probably understand that things don't happen overnight, right? It's amazing things don't happen overnight. I got 2 beautiful kids. They're about to be 6 years old in a few weeks. And what I can tell you is, my most amazing creation in life, they didn't happen overnight. It took 9 months. So things that, things that you really want to last like a long time, they don't tend to happen like overnight. So the work that you do today, you might not see the benefit of it right away, but I'm telling you, you're creating. And what I have written down here was the mentality of the farmer and the shark. You know, if you guys have ever heard me speak about the farmer and the shark before, it's if you ask somebody, what would you want to be, a farmer or a shark? And they're like, I'm a shark, you know, because they feel like it's like a big bad animal, and it's, you know, people are scared of it and it's aggressive. But one thing that I do know is that a shark has to get up every day and hunt, because it has to hunt its next meal. It's like what a shark does most of the days, hunt its meal. But what does a farmer do? A farmer plants seeds that will produce food that lasts a lifetime. So what we get to do is focus on planting these seeds, right? We want to have a mentality inside of this business as we want seeds that are going to eventually blossom. You can't control when those seeds blossom, but what you can control is how many you put in the ground. So having the mindset right now, when it's maybe not as easy, I'm putting as many seeds into the ground and I'm taking care of them right now. And I'm not attached to the fact that they're going to grow overnight, because they don't. That's just not how it happens. Because you can be a shark and you can have a meal for the day, but what do you have to do tomorrow? Exert all your energy to eat just that day. So that's how I think about the business. It's not about what I can do today to get a result tomorrow. It's what can I do today to get a result that lasts a lifetime. I'm either on my way to where I want to go, or I'm staying stagnant. So the thing with this point is that you get to understand that the things that you're doing in December, they may not show up right away for you, right? So, because in my opinion is this, I gotta always say this now, it's my opinion, is that it's the consistent work that wins, right? It's the work that's done over and over and over again. The thing that I shared a lot this year is it's not what you can do once, it's what you can do consistently. You know, we do high volume once, but can you consistently do it? Is the work that you're doing, are you going to be able to do that consistently? So, you know, take that on. The things that you do, if you had a good month, how many good months can I string together? How consistent can I be? That's an important and vital piece to the puzzle. The next thing is to be excited about what will be. Now, a lot of things I'm sharing, you guys, they're mental. These are mental things. And the reason why I'm sharing it is because your belief starts in your mind. If you believe it, you're going to move different. That's just the way that we work. Nobody believes ourselves more than ourselves. So the things that we tell ourselves, we're going to believe them at a very high level. So the way that you talk to yourself and the way that you feel about yourself is going to be important. You guys know how to do volume already. Your world teaming up, right? You guys have done the volume. You guys know how to do volume. You guys know how to show up to events. You're here. But one thing that we get a chance to defeat is like the enemy of our mind. You know, be in control of your mental. And so that's why we're sharing a lot of things that talk about belief, right? So being excited about what will happen. What will your life look like? I can't tell you that because I'll probably get fined. I can't start saying stuff like that. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go smooth through my Herbalife career as a President's team member without having that issue. So I'm not going to tell you what it can look like. But what I will tell you is you can just, like, in your mind, decide what your life will be like. And the reason why I underline will, is I get to wake up every day and I get to move in the direction that my life will be like, not where my life currently is. So if my goal is, let's just say, if my goal is to be a Chairman's Club member, I get to wake up and I get to move based on me being a Chairman's Club member because I get to work towards that. I'm not waking up, let's say, as, you know, in the World Team member mindset of like, okay, I'm just a World Team member. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, no, I am a Chairman's Club member. I get to move today as a Chairman's Club member. So are you moving based on what your goals are? I don't know what your goals are. Maybe your goal is Global Expansion Team. Did you wake up today and start moving as you being a Global Expansion Team member? Did you wake up today as being a Millionaire Team member, as being a President's Team member, or whatever it is your goal is in between there or above? We're at 1 o'clock, out here. Day is halfway done. Has the first half of your day, does it look like where you want to go? Maybe the result isn't there yet, but the work, the effort, the things that you've already done, is that in alignment with what you said that your goal is? right? And if you don't know what your goal, like revisit your the declarations you made in the beginning of the year. Have you shown up as that person going towards those things more often than not? So it's important that we operate in the attitude of where we're going, not where we're currently at, because you get to focus, have that tunnel vision, right? And the next thing I want to share is probably the most important thing and it's probably the last thing I'm gonna share, is the importance of keeping your boat in the water. And, some of you guys have heard my analogy with this, on different calls that I've done, like Mark and Jill and, in different things like that. But I want to bring it to, this audience so everybody understands the concept of keeping your boat in the water. And I live in Southern California now. Some of you guys might not be here. I see somebody in Hawaii. You definitely know what it's like to live by the water, right? And you've seen people surfing. So if you have, just imagine if you've never seen, anybody surf before, you've never seen people surfing, just paint this picture in your mind. I go to the beach and I'm sitting on the boardwalk and I'm looking into the water, and there's the sand. People are laying in the sand, and there are a couple of kind of people down there. There's the person who's got their surfing gear halfway off and they're chilling on the side, they're talking, maybe they're on their phone, they're relaxing, they're just kind of waiting around for something to happen, right? They're just chilling. Then you see a wave coming. How much of it do you think that they're going to catch? They might get lucky to catch like the back end. Oh, I got to put my suit on. I got to get my board. Oh, my board ain't waxed. I got to get ready. And by the time they get in the water, the wave is gone. Then the second person, kind of in the water, kind of in and out, they're playing around. They're not really ready. They're kind of toe dipping. We call them toe dippers. They're in and out the water. I didn't have a wave right now. I'm back and forth. Toe dippers. We call them toe dippers. And they see the wave and they might be able to make it out there to catch like the back end. But then there are people who are ready to go, suits on, board ready to go, and they're in the water and they're just waiting. They're there, they're just waiting. And then when the wave comes, guess what? They catch the top of it. They're the ones riding the wave. So ask yourself, who are you inside of your business? Are you on the sideline waiting? Are you toe dipping, or are you in the water ready for the wave? Because when the wave comes, you get to decide how much of it that you catch. So my plea to people is, look, even when there's still water, even when it's still water and nothing is happening, at least we can be in the water ready for the wave. That's what happened to my organization in 2020. We just so happen to have a lot of boats who were just in the water, doing our circles, ready for the wave. And then when the wave came, we caught every last bit of it. And then there were people who were sprinting, trying to get in the water, and they caught like the back end of the wave. They caught a little bit of it. And then there were people who were like sleep on the sidelines, and they wake up and they see everybody else already riding the wave. And then they try to get in, and it's too late. So my plea to you guys, especially closing out this year, ask yourself, is your boat in the water? Even if there's nothing happening right now. Because if it is, because you don't know, just like a wave in the ocean, you don't know when it's coming. You have no idea. But it's better. Look, and what I write down here, I said, look, keep your boat in the water to catch the wave, or you'll find yourself waving at the wave. Oh, don't find yourself waving at the wave. The ones people who are on the sand, and it's all I can do. I missed this one. It's all I can do. Hopefully another one comes around. So you keep your boat in the water so you don't find yourself waving at the wave. It's important. So, these are a couple of tips. And I hope that somebody wrote down at least one. Because the biggest thing that I can tell you is, showing up right now when it's not easy, doing the work right now when it's not easy, is so much more gratifying when you win. Because you'll know that the work that you put in, when it wasn't, as sunny outside as it needed to be, maybe it wasn't ideal conditions, or maybe life just was not perfect for you and things were happening, but you did the work. You did the ugly, dirty work. The work that not too many people want to do. You did it. And eventually you're going to put yourself in a position to catch a wave. And that's the only thing that I want. It's not a guarantee, but it's better. You put yourself in a better position. And that's all I want you guys to do. Look, that's the hashtag, position yourself. Position yourself for success. Because at least you're in a better position if it happens to come. So I think that's my time, you guys. So I want to pass the call back to David. Hopefully you guys have a phenomenal rest of the year. Tag me in some stuff that you guys, applying some of these tips to help you close out the rest of the year. And I'm excited to see everybody in 2021 when they let us outside and offer punishment.
Appreciate that, Steven. Wow.